Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Perfect.
Are we on?
We're rolling.
Rolling. Caught me unawares. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode, a happier episode.
Yes, much happier.
Barum Engines. Well, this is the Honda VTEC head.
Yep, the old
Done
K20.
the valves, the K20, done the valves, the seats, give it a face, put new exhaust guides in.
Lovely.
Then was a bit sloppy. And that, my friend, is almost ready. Got to give it a little lick of the old paint. We've been having a bit of a sort out this week, mate, haven't we?
We have.
With
reorganisation.
Reorganisation of the channel, the business, and ourselves.
Yes.
Job roles, the whole shooting match, yeah?
Big update.
Big update
today.
And as you can tell, I'm looking a little bit happier. And that's not because my splits personality. So, where do we start, mate?
Wow.
Obviously, going by very recent previous videos, you could tell that it sort of wasn't working as it was.
No.
So Isaac's been a big help by sitting me down and telling me what he thinks is potentially going wrong. And he's right. Ever since the channel, I think what I've been doing is trying to run it as it used to be, where we engage fully with the customers, like on a personal level, etc.
Yeah.
But the problem I've got now is being a massive superstar. No,
he's very well known, and you know, if people know about this place, they know that you're the man to speak to, and you're the man to get involved with.
This is the thing, and I've been trying to take the reins a bit too much, really. And now with the channel, it's like it's because it's grown, and a lot of the work comes from the channel. Obviously, the channel's doing its job as far as like marketing side of it goes, but we need to ultimately. I'm becoming probably more and more unhappy in my job role because I've been taking on trying to deal with everyone, whereas what I want to do is do the work. I've really enjoyed doing the videos, but like a lot of you have suggested in the comments and emails and that, maybe we're probably trying to do too many videos.
Yeah, I think 3 a week's like really not only for the amount that we're doing it. It's also the content we can put out. It's not necessarily the best content we could be doing because we just have to chuck so much of it out.
This is the thing. We've been trying to sort of go for quantity over quality.
Yeah.
So what we've been thinking is maybe definitely coming after the new year, maybe if we go for try 6 months at maybe 1 a week, maybe 2 if we've got anything
as much as we can do, really.
Yeah.
But we're thinking a bit longer videos.
Even if we aim for at the very least 1 a week, one quality video, maybe 40 minutes long, something like that.
Yeah, higher quality, more involved, in depth. Even you know, just parts of the video could just be us literally stripping an engine, or you know, something that takes a bit longer that we set up, set it all up, set the camera up, and film something properly, edit it all properly.
Up the production level, the quality level. Obviously, we've been, as you all know, we've been sort of doing videos on our phones.
Yeah.
Whereas the quality's not great. The longer the video, the less the sort of less you can do on the quality.
Yeah.
So we've purchased a good vlogging camera.
We have indeed.
Courtesy of Sony, and decent laptop.
Yeah. And
we're going to sort of more so but we're going to be. Sort of learning how to use a decent editing program on there.
Yeah.
We don't want to overcomplicate things. That's not what we're trying to do.
No, we don't want to make it like, you know.
But we would like to sort of up probably the quality and the level of video as far as the production goes, and see what we can do with it. Make minor changes. We don't want to go all fancy, but we just want to make them a bit more quality. And I think that's if we just
do it all a little bit
on
more professionally and put a bit more thought into the videos as well.
That's right, yeah.
Because at the minute we sort of just whip the camera out and crack on, but you know, little bit more thought and a bit of planning. And
exactly. And next year, obviously, you know, you can, by the sort of content that's been in the videos of late, you know, we're sort of limited. I know everyone sort of enjoys the technical stuff, and the channel is ultimately about engines and us building engines, but sometimes we're a bit stuck for content. So we would like to probably start incorporating what we've been spending money on, like the E30 when it's done, the Lambo, you know, us sort of going and enjoying those.
And all of that.
That was the whole idea really of the second channel, but now we're sort of not doing so much on the second channel. You're sort of doing that personally, really.
Yes.
We would like to probably incorporate, because the videos will be longer, maybe a bit of that in it. You see us doing a bit of that?
Yeah, a bit of that stuff.
I know so it was not going to be for everyone, but it may sort of encourage new viewers into the channel also.
And I suppose the idea is with a longer video, higher quality and all that, it's going to have a bit in it for everybody.
Yeah.
It's going to have some of the technical stuff, some of us having a conversation about whatever we're having a conversation about, and then the projects and whatever else is going on.
That's right, yeah. And we would also obviously like to go and see some of these cars that we do engines for.
Yeah.
That's something that people I know are crying out for.
Yeah, I definitely think we should do that.
So yeah, the channel is, you know, although we've been going for 2 or 3 years, it is still very much new and we're still learning. But next year we would like to take a bit more of a twist on it.
Yeah.
As far as the business goes, we've had a good chat about that as well, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
And I think what we're going to be doing is Isaac has been very kindly building us a website, which you will all see. So this is a new website that we are going to try and aim everyone to make enquiries through the website.
Yep.
You'll probably see this on a lot of like RE Performance and all that. They channel it all through the website, so you know we are now
all on emails. It's sort of, you know,
there'll be a specific email dedicated to,
and it's an extension of the issues we were having of, you know, with the warranty issues, speaking to people on the phone. You don't get that written confirmation of things.
You don't.
So it's an extension of that where it's now going to apply to everything.
Yeah.
All the inquiries, all the estimates, all the, you know, all of that sort of thing. Any sort of well, not all the customer interaction, but a lot of the customer interaction over email.
That's right, yeah.
Frees you up, it frees us all up.
Well, we're tending to find that although I tried as much to go through the correct channels, like having it on email and all this, ultimately it was aimed at me. It was almost like a personal thing, which is my own fault.
It's almost
really.
like they're not getting in contact with Barum engines; they're getting in contact with Lee.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
That's the thing. Yeah, and they see me on the channel, they want to speak to me, but we're going to be doing it so it's directed more through the website. Anyone that wants to get work done here, and they know what we're all about because of the channel.
Yeah,
they know about all the work that we've done, and the majority of it is positive feedback, you know, the quality that we can do. So if people want stuff done, they will go through whatever channel to do that.
Yes.
They don't need to speak to me. So what I'm saying is I'm going to be making me a little bit sort of more unget-atable.
Yeah, but it's not so much that you don't want to speak to people. It's just the amount of time it takes and the stress it puts on you. And
exactly,
it's not that you just, I don't want to speak to anyone.
It's counterproductive. You know, there's a lot of work here that I have to do myself. I enjoy doing the machining, and
it's modernising a bit as well, isn't it?
Modernising.
That's the way it's sort of going, and it makes more sense to do it that way because it's everything that's said is then logged and kept and can be found.
That's it. Yeah.
You know, it just makes it all a lot simpler, for us anyway.
Yeah.
And hopefully for everyone else, you know, it's easy enough.
That's right. Yeah, it's like you say, the warranty. There'll be a warranty claims form that you fill in and all that. So if there's any genuine, they don't get to sort of try it on with me. Not that people have been, but
you know, some people will end up getting under your skin and sort of, especially over the phone, because they can, you know, you're speaking to a person, then you're sort of having a conversation, you say things you might not necessarily mean, or word things wrong because you're in the moment trying to get something across to somebody. But with an email, at least you've got a bit of, you know, you ain't got to hit send immediately. You can proofread it and check it and make sure you said exactly what you mean, and you know.
Yeah.
And the same goes for the customer on their end. They can get their point across properly over email. no one forgets what's said because it's all written down, and yeah, it's just a better way of doing it, really.
I think so, yeah, definitely, mate. E30.
Oh yes.
Been over to see Ryan this morning. Took him some more glue so he can glue some more bits on.
PVA or
Sorry?
PVA or
Yeah, I was going to say,
super
yeah.
glue.
But pretty much.
Yeah.
But the car's coming on really well. The inside is almost prepped now. So as soon as it's all in sort of primer, it will look proper. Yeah. So we're not going to be long. So basically what Ryan's going to do is paint the underside of the car first. Then we want it basically like a rolling shell.
Yeah.
So one, so we can get it back when it is painted, and two, so he hasn't got to sort of disturb the underside.
Yeah.
So we have had to get everything down mainly off the shelf up here. You see stuff lying about there, and get it sort of built up, innit? So
yeah,
here it is. We've got the wheel bearings and what have you on the hubs on the rear arms. The bush is in, so I'm happier now. We've sort of got it to this stage.
Yeah, it's all ready to be bolted on.
All ready to be bolted on. So what will happen is, as soon as we get this rear beam on and the arms, I can then put the wheels that we bought for the front on when it's on the car, do a measure up, order them wheels because they're going to be about a month. So
yeah, so you need to see what sort of, well, how much room you've got and work it out. So easier to do when you've got a wheel on there, isn't it? Really?
That's right, yeah. So with a bit of luck, we're looking at sort of the second week of January when we get to that point, which is not long.
No.
So it's all happening fairly sharpish, mate.
It is.
Not going to be long. Also, what is happening in the second week of January is we've had our mate over here, Chris, who's a carpenter. He's going to be, a few people that keep commenting on it are going to be glad to hear this. We're going to be finishing off all the workshop panelling.
Yeah.
So that means above the doors will be done.
Later.
That means above the doors will be done. You'll be glad to know.
And all the back in there. And
all in there will be panelled, and he's going to come and make us a nice office
upstairs.
So that'll be a nice office with a big glass panel window at the front. Yours and mine desks up there. Nice little sofa and a table and a few plants, and make it all nice.
Yeah.
You do all your editing up there, mate.
Lovely.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it'll be nice to have somewhere to sort of go and
it'll be nice
get on with that kind of thing.
Yeah, when we've got any sort of sitting down having a discussion content to make, we can make it in there.
Yeah.
So we'll make it all nice and flush.
Well, there's endless options for content up in there, I reckon.
Exactly. And what we will be doing is, at least we're up there out the way of the door, so if anyone does come in, we're sort of not disturbed, because I feel that's the way I need to...
well, it's another one of those things. You're trying to get something done in the office. It's important. It's paperwork or whatever, and
that's it. Yeah.
It's not that you don't. Again, not that you don't want to speak to people. It's just an inconvenient time.
Yeah.
And because you're right by the door, you're the first person they see and first person they speak to, and it's
a different approach really on our roles, and I want to sort of get back to enjoying it a bit more, but not changing things too much.
Yeah.
Just taking away unnecessarily things.
Trying to make things easier or more efficient, and just sort
easier for me, not for you.
Well, it's all right.
Up in your role, mate.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm sure we'll be paying you accordingly. Don't worry about that, because there'll be plenty of comments about that.
Lovely.
Don't worry, we'll look after him. Getting on to some work. V8 liner. Got half of them in, mate, haven't we?
Yep, finally.
How's it all going? This one now has been under my arm while we've been talking, so it's nice and warm, so it should be a bit more difficult to get in. So what I'll do is probably grab another one that's a bit cooler. So what we do, if we come through here, mate, I'll grab my safety glasses. You, of course, have got yours on your head there, haven't you?
Always on me head.
Always on his head.
I'll stand back.
So you can see we've got it on our jig that we bought. There was a story behind this jig. It was owned by Car Engines, that was also not a competitor, more of a sort of just did the same thing down the road. They owned this jig, and we tried to get one of them jigs for years.
So that's specific for V8, 90-degree V8 blocks.
Exactly, yeah.
Helps you face them and bore them and all that. So.
Yeah, and then they sold out. They're now doing something different to rebuilding engines, and these jigs disappeared. And then several years later, someone come in and said, I bought some jigs on auction, but never used them. Do you want to buy them? And sure enough, it was the ones that they used to have. So
no, it's more of a barn find.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, someone was clearing out their shed, and they'd obviously acquired those off of car engines, and
yeah, it was through an auction they bought them, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So it was just a thing of circumstance we come about them. So anyway, we bought them, but they're very handy because you bolt them into the main, one of the mains bearing threads, using some thread and nuts, whatever, and yeah, it's pretty good. So the only thing is with that jig, obviously, because it's bolted up to a 45-degree face, you don't want to be pressing this too much because all that's going to want to do is pull down.
Slide off.
So what we do is under the back here, I just support it with some of our jacks and blocks. So it's literally pushing down on those.
Yeah.
But there isn't much force on these because what we do is we give it a 3 thou interference on the alley. And then we heat it up, as I'll show you in a minute, and that usually opens the aluminium up about 5 or 6 thou, believe it or not.
Right, so you can basically drop them in.
And then they almost drop in, don't they?
Yeah.
And that last probably inch where you just push, you sort of push them in.
Well, we did have 1 or 2 that went pretty much all the way down.
Yeah, depending on how much you heat them up, but that's what we do. We've got no other way of controlling the heating up process to a certain temperature, so it's a case of get the blowtorch out, measure it until it opens up that amount, and then away you go. So let's do one, mate, shall we?
Let's do one.
So we turn our gas on here. There's probably people out there saying, "Oh no, I wouldn't do it that way." But why not, eh?
See if it works.
So what I normally do is the other 4 we got in yesterday. So we normally put them all in, leave them for a day or so to just cool off, and then I'll just give them one last push. Make sure they're seated properly. Just in case with the temperature change, the flange sort of comes off the seat. And that's it, really. Never had any problems. Here we go.
Take 2.
Take 2.
There we go, that's what we wanted.
That's what we want to do.
Perfect.
You're probably wondering why that first one's in there when we were doing that a second ago. And the reason for that is, buggered it up, didn't I?
Well, didn't go to plan.
Didn't go to plan, went to put it in, bit too much on the piss, liner's heated up, gripped. But he's pushed in absolutely fine.
Yeah. Sorted it out, just didn't go as we wanted it to.
That is really how they should go in. So we've just heated that up, so it's going about 4 thou bigger.
Yeah.
Dropped in, and now what you'll find is the temperature will match up between the liner and the alley. It'll all shrink together, and then when that cools, in theory, we've got a 3 thou interference gripping it.
Yep. Perfect.
So there we go, mate, isn't it? Easy as that.
Yeah.
Just not as easy as that.
No, not as easy as that one, but as easy as that one.
That was not as easy as that. But there we go. So, yeah, let us know, guys, what you think about that, our ideas, our plans. But I feel that that's the way we need to go.
I agree.
But like I say, like this is what, a 20-minute video, and I feel like, I know we've been babbling on in there, but I feel like we need to do longer videos.
Yeah. So
probably less, more longer. Get some more.
I've noticed how easy it's been to do a 20-minute video now that we haven't done 3 videos this week. This will be the second.
This is the thing, and I've been itching to do one.
And it's just been, it's just flying out, isn't it?
Exactly. So yeah, be nice to get some more interesting content to put in the limited amount of videos that we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, apart from that, guys, have a lovely weekend. We will see you maybe Monday. See how we got on.
Maybe Wednesday.
Maybe.
Maybe any day.
Yeah, see you when we see you. Thanks, guys.